Hi and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast. All right. Hi and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non-native speakers. My name is Jędrek,
My name's Masha.
and we are two English teachers who
Rise and grind.
who, who rise and grind.
Don't shine anymore. They don't shine anymore. They
Yeah,
grind
we grind.
in
We
this
don't rise
constant
and
fight
shine.
with the one who must not be named. No, we're not going to talk about AI today. No.
Oh, why not, Masha? No, it's
No,
been a long time.
no. It's been a long time. What?
All
I
right.
sent you another piece like yesterday.
Yeah.
It
I
was actually
listened
really
to.
good. No, not the comedy. The American TV. It's
No.
the
You mean the
article I
podcast?
sent you.
Ah, the article. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
haven't
you
read it yet.
listened to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a podcast. It was a podcast episode. Unless you sent me a transcription, and I was listening to it. Yeah.
No, there was this article when the woman was basically you know this question it very often comes up on our show. What's the point of memorizing stuff if you already have tech to do it for you? And she explains it very well in this article. Now I have something to say to my son. I feel empowered.
All right.
Okay, you
Great.
read it later and we'll discuss it. You
All
can
right.
attach
Great.
it
Great.
to
Great.
this.
Thanks for sending me this. We are just informing our audience that we keep in touch with the latest developments in the world of technology, and we are, of course, concerned.
No,
We are not.
no,
Oh, you are obsessed about it.
no. Obsessed doesn't mean I'm concerned.
Ah,
I'm
really?
obsessed in a different way. I see it now as a research for my, other work.
Oh, I see. All right.
Work. No, I'm not calling it work. No.
My other hobby, maybe. My other hobby.
My other unpaid hobby. Well,
Yes.
hobbies are
All right.
never paid, right?
No, they can be paid, but
But then they become
then
work.
they become kind of well, but what
Okay,
about
this
you?
episode is in danger of being about everything. Okay, let's narrow down maybe.
We need such episodes from time to time, you know? We've been discussing concrete stuff in the past. It's time to blab a little bit, you know?
Okay.
Masha, let's come back to this rise and grind because people may
Yeah.
be, maybe a bit confused. There is a video, famous video that perhaps I'm going to link, even though it makes me cringe. But there's a video, motivational video called exactly this, Rise and Grind. And there's a subtitle to it saying, watch this every morning. So you basically wake up in the morning and you play that video to uh, stay or get motivated, right?
Yes, I remember when I was 17 and trying to lose weight, and I didn't eat anything. And to stay sane or whatever, I had a magazine with Cindy Crawford opened, always on my desk. It kind of
Masha is
helped me.
Cindy Crawford, right?
It helped me a little bit. So the same, the
But
first thing I saw when I woke up,
Mhm.
and this moment in the morning when you have to choose between a sandwich and whatever water. You look at Cindy Crawford, and so the same with this video. Yes, you wake up, watch it every day, every morning.
Yeah, I guess, but I wonder, I was trying to watch it, and I was even, considering it as our recommendation for in the newsletter, in the section of we recommend, to watch and maybe learn some English with it. But then, I was unable to reach the end of that video. It's kind of I don't
So
know
it's
why
now
am
we
I.
anti-recommend
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe we should introduce,
another
this kind of section.
section.
Yeah. Don't watch it. Hey, maybe that would actually work because
Of
people don't click.
course,
Maybe
of course.
you know how
What's
banning
the first
or
thing that
forbidding.
people will?
It's the forbidden fruit, that becomes suddenly very attractive.
So
No, I'm
what about
kidding.
this video? Why is it cringy?
I don't know if it's cringy just for me or if it's generally cringy. There are people who take it very, very seriously and they really watch it every day.
Do you know
But
such people?
um, well, I don't know personally, but I found a link to it on Instagram, and somebody added it to their stories uh, without any smiley around, meaning that probably they take it seriously. So I think there are people who watch it, who wake up and watch it and feel
All it
energized
tells
and
me
and
it's
ready to.
it's that there are people who post it on Instagram. I wouldn't go
Yeah,
as far as to think that there are people who, I mean, that if somebody posted it, it means that they actually do it.
no, much, but we can safely assume that this sort of message finds a really wide audience and some true followers. It reminds me a little bit of the poster from Holsti. We will maybe talk about it today too. But what I wanted to say is that I don't know if I am somehow immune to this sort of motivation. Because I find it cringy. It's like, okay, how many times can you be telling me that to get up and rise, or sorry, not to get up and rise, but to rise, right? Yeah, but yeah, get up and rise.
Rise to the occasion,
Yeah, right.
whatever it is.
Yeah, but I find it. What's wrong with that? I find it shallow.
Maybe you first tell people what the message is because you haven't.
Masha, yeah, I mean, what is the message? Is don't give up, keep struggling. Um, I
Life
guess that's the
is short.
life
Yeah.
is okay. No, but that you mix up two things, because this rise and grind video is one thing,
Mhm.
and our beautiful poster from Holsti only, Masha, how much does it cost?
$43.
It's only $43. So what is that? You can buy it, hang it on your wall. This one, by the way, the one I'm holding is probably a copy. It's illegal. Maybe Holsti uh,
Will sue us finally.
will sue
Somebody will
us
finally
and
sue us.
and my Atelier de Colline as well, because it's breaking the copyright. It looks like, really, this looks like someone took a picture of a real poster and then printed it. It's quite tricky. It's like
So why
recording
is
a
this
movie from the cinema.
why why is this message that rise and grind, life is short, never give up? After all, that's what Churchill said. Never, ever, ever, ever. His famous words. So why does it make you cringe? What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, time for psychoanalysis. This time my turn. All right. Um, and I think I find this message shallow, and because it's
Why?
shallow, well, because it's obvious, and everything that is obvious, everything that is banal, is shallow. I mean, am I even making sense here? I
But
mean,
the greatest truth in life are very
mhm.
simple and obvious.
Yeah,
And
that's
very
true.
often
And
it
this is
takes a lot of
perfect.
time, it takes a lot of time and many, many repetitions for you to finally, internalize it.
To realize these simple truths.
Yeah.
You're right. But there is a very, very fine line between uh, a platitude and words of wisdom, you know? And I think
Mm-hmm.
paradoxically,
Mm-hmm.
the words of wisdom, the ones that are truly deep, and maybe even timeless, they are not so obvious. I would have to do the research, but I think it's always something surprising. It's like you read it, it's like, oh, really? It's like there is some kind of a paradox inside. There is something that you never thought about, because platitudes on the other side. This is what Paulo Coelho, what is his name,
That's his name,
was,
Paulo Coelho.
yeah,
So,
is famous for.
yeah.
That, but still, he has again a large group of followers. Perhaps many of our listeners read him and enjoy his books too. But to me personally, I think there's obvious stuff. There are some parodies on my Twitter timeline, because I follow some stock market stuff and so on. That and there are some parodies of Paulo Coelho saying, for example, if the price goes up, it will go down, and so on. So it's like it's something that is almost um it goes without saying, but when it's dressed in as a quotation, it sounds like, oh, this is something profound, but this is a platitude. It's something that's obvious. It's something that doesn't take a lot of reflection to you know to arrive at. And I think, yeah, this is but if you ask me what's the difference between a platitude and a deep thought, I don't know. It's really interesting, because these, words of wisdom, they are also sometimes quite simple, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Let me find, Masha. Maybe you can Google some words of wisdom, or can I do it? Wait a second. We come unprepared to the show, but it's nature, right? Words of wisdom. Okay, okay. There's even a section images. Whoa, let's try. Let's try a couple. Um, do the right thing when no one is looking. It's called integrity. Oh, God damn it! No, I think this is a platitude.
Okay, let's try a couple more.
All right. The next one.
The
Wait a
bar is
second, because
really
I think
high. I'm feeling the bar
no,
the
but
bar
wait,
is
this is the
really,
same.
really high.
This is the same thing, I guess. I know why, but it's showing me the same. Uh,
Google
do
needs
less,
just
Masha.
close.
Do less with more focus.
No, next.
All right.
Google
Wait.
needs quotes.
Yeah, you're right, because what I'm doing now is I'm browsing images basically. So maybe it's not the
My
best thing.
favorite
Okay,
now, I
75
know,
words of wisdom. All right.
Bernard Shaw, I think. No, no, no. It was the guy who Mark Twain. Nothing is more annoying than a good example. This is
Oh
what I
yeah, that's
live
great.
by right
That is
now.
great.
Every
But
day.
that is great.
That is great,
That
but
is
it's
great. And
very
I don't,
simple. It's very
yeah,
simple.
but it's surprising too, you know, because you would think that a
Mhm.
good example is honestly, I'm always asking people for a good example.
Well, but we know
But
what kind of good example we're talking about here.
yeah, great. Great, great, great. That is fantastic. How about this? I opened a new website. Picking anyway. All right. Mm, oh, okay. This one is actually, because it's popular. It's also banal. Okay, my favorite, Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Let's try. Never say no twice if you mean it.
That's
What?
kind of
Never say
clever.
no if you mean it. What? How do you
Uh,
understand that? Never say no twice if you mean it.
Well, it means that don't go into any explanation. So it's not worth
Ah, all
it.
right. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, you could argue with that, but fine. Taleb, um, Taleb's there. Okay. One more. Um, there is Witold Gombrowicz, I see here, a Polish author. Foolishness is a twin sister of wisdom.
Hmm. Well, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
this one is not that simple, you know. I mean,
yeah,
you have to
exactly.
think a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, because there is that. It's true that being foolish and being very wise is paradoxically not so far away from each other, right?
How
And
about
very
this?
often, this
Do you
wise
think?
man is considered a fool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Another one, bit something along these lines is, and those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music.
Yeah,
Ah, that's my favorite
yeah, yeah.
line.
Nice, nice. But but then again, I would like to come back to my words of wisdom that are not so wise. Wait a second. Mm,
Well, how about this? You know,
let me
if you
find it.
want to be happy, be
Okay.
happy. What about this? You know?
That's my favorite, you know. I mean, nothing's more simple, right? If you want to be
Yeah,
happy, it reminds me of this Holsti where I took, this. If you want to change something, change it.
change it. If you don't like your
Yeah.
job, quit it.
If you don't like something, change it. Yeah.
So
Uh,
what's wrong with how would you classify this?
you know, we have a very nice Polish phrase, dobre rady cioci kloci. It's like these are good
Good
advice
advice from
of Aunt
Aunt.
Clara, or whatever. So yeah, it's this sort of thing. This is how I mean, I could never take it um like really seriously, but maybe it's really important who's saying it.
But it
Because if it's
is just a
anonymous, if that was, if that was signed by, I don't know, Albert Einstein, it would change
no,
things
no,
a
no,
bit,
no, no, no,
right?
no, no. It's the
Einstein
what
said
it
everything,
means.
right?
It's really that simple. When you understand that nobody can make you happy, you only can be happy. But it takes
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to realize this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe it takes hours of therapy, but here it is in one sentence. But it's very
Mm-hmm.
when you read it,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot simply grasp it. You need something else, in order to
You mean
understand it.
experience,
I don't know. Maybe
life
some people
experience, or
have a lot of experience and they still, keep stepping. Is there a saying like you keep stepping on the same rake? That's what we have literally in Ukraine.
yeah, 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 yeah. But it's a very good point uh, because imagine if you could really trust these words, uh, take them, internalize them, and live by them. This is,
Hmm.
I guess, what
Yeah.
then you could really make progress fast. You know, but there's a risk, of course, that someone is trying to brainwash you, right? That someone is trying to, that's. This is why you would have to be sure about the source of these words, and because I think that, look, um, I was once maybe not obsessed, but I was wondering about this shortcut to wisdom. Is there a shortcut to wisdom?
You were looking for a shortcut to wisdom?
Oh, sorry. No, it sounds like, I know it's pathetic, but I had this kind of question on my mind, that is there a shortcut? Do you really need to go through tons and tons of books, then hours and hours of conversations with smart people, wise people, and so on and so forth? Is there actually a shortcut to it? And there is. You could take a wise book like a Bible, or like a Holsti poster. It's even shorter than the Bible, and slightly more expensive. But if you truly internalized it, lived by this poster, by these words, then perhaps this is a shortcut to wisdom. Perhaps, because you save time on getting the necessary experience. You may actually arrive at the same conclusions here. Life is short, and live your dream and share your passion. So instead of me, because I don't know what is my passion, am I, I'm an English teacher. I like my job, but is it my passion? Am I passionate about it? Am I not? I'm still, probing. I'm still not sure about it. But if I simply assumed, hey, this is my passion, I'm going to share it. I'm going to post every day. I'm going to write text. I'm going to, I don't, share my passion, literally share on the internet, And then who knows, maybe I would be much, much, much more successful than I am today.
So you think it all comes down to believing or not believing
I
what
think
these,
it's a powerful thing, this
but
faith, not in the religious sense, but faith as a, as a uh, driving force. Because, you and me, we have been in this business for quite a long time. And we know that there can be, I mean, that every answer to the questions that we ask is good. So whether it's, this option or that option, it's good. It's good. It's good. So it's the same here. It's, if you ask about, how to live your life, well, anyway, it's good. It's just, it's maybe sometimes a matter of deciding, to being decided, not to sit on the fence all the time and wait, I'm waiting for this mythical certainty of being sure of what I'm doing, of maybe having, I know, scientific proof or I don't know, some sort of feedback from life, But, I may find it when I'm 80, but I could decide today, hey, what I'm doing, this is exactly, I don't know, I am totally right doing this. I should be, promoting meaningful conversations, go nuts about it, publish a few books and do a TED talk, and then travel around the world with lectures on meaningful conversations and how uh, fantastic they are, what sort of fantastic effect they have on people, on their health and mental and physical.
so truly believing in something, that's the,
Really believing in something, yes.
yeah, I agree. I admire, I mean, sometimes envy even people who I see, no matter what, it doesn't even matter what they are promoting or advocating, but the passion with which they do it, it means that it's
Yeah.
something they truly believe in.
Hmm.
Because I understand, yeah, I agree that if I, believed in what I'm doing, just like these people, I would definitely, go and do these TED Talks or whatever you were
Yeah.
talking about. But
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
You
doing
would.
it simply because yeah, I don't want to say it out loud. This is good
I
method,
don't feel
people.
what I'm
This
doing.
is good method.
No, it's great, I think, but there are two ways I think of attaining this sort of let's call it certainty. Uh, you can, of course, take a shortcut and brainwash yourself a bit, and or well, call it brainwash or simply trust, take it for granted, or you could go and start testing and maybe also studying and so on and so forth. And who knows, maybe you would end up with the same sort of conclusions,
Yeah, but
except 20 years later, 40 years later.
you're talking about some practical things. But if we come back to this, if you want to be happy, be happy. There is
Hmm.
nothing here to believe. I mean, who can argue with that? Why would you have doubts about it even? It's
It's
very
just that
simple. It's not a matter of
it's very
believing,
simple, but
but there will be a huge gap between believing and, as you said, living by it. Because living by it, you fall into your old habits, old ways. It's very, very difficult to change.
mhm.
And I'm speaking from, of course, my experience right now. I've read tons and tons of self-help books and God knows what. I know
Didn't know that
exactly what
about
should I be doing to change, but it's
you. Mhm.
very difficult.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when it comes to the execution, right? I mean, the
Yeah,
theory is one
yeah.
thing, but then, Masha, you simply didn't brainwash yourself enough,
No, no, no,
I
no, no.
guess.
No, no.
I mean,
Okay, it's simple. Remember this essay I recommended about apology.
hmm
Let's
hmm
talk about apology. What could be easier, especially when you know that you've done wrong?
hmm
Just come to this person and say these words. What could be
hmm
easier than that? And this is the most difficult thing to do. Do you believe in it? Do you believe that you're wrong? Yes. Do you believe that you should apologize? Yes. Just step,
yeah, do it.
step,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
But with apologizing, or maybe it is the same mechanism, but there is a lot of psychology around, apologizing about, maybe losing status or face or I don't know what, kind of it
No, it all
in
comes
some
down to the
instance.
person not accepting your apology. This is the scariest thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
So
exactly. But
there's not,
then, but with this, if you want to be happy, be happy. I find it too simplistic, even if it's deep, if it's
but
some sort of a
it's
deep
too
truth.
simplistic because there is no, one fits all recipe.
But we could
Once you
replicate
understand
this.
this, you take a
Let's say, Masha,
responsibility
if
and
you
you
want to
do
be
it.
rich, be rich.
Of course.
What the hell, I mean,
Yes.
what's stopping you? So,
But you
but it's
you
not
will
that
be
simple,
surprised. No, no, you will be surprised that maybe it's you not knowing or not having the skill is very often not the things that's stopping you. It's your internal inner
Yeah,
whatever belief that
absolutely. Yeah,
for
yeah.
example, being rich is frowned upon, or many, 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 many things. Some
That
patterns
is the
you've
thing of
internalized. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. This is the thing of being an entrepreneur. You wake up one day and you feel like the king of the world, and the other day you wake up and you feel like like you are nothing. And you want to kill yourself. But yeah, I think this is it. But this is all in our head, right?
Yeah. So
And
what I'm
if
saying is that believing in something is
Mhm.
not everything. Maybe with
uh,
our example of,
no, no,
when
but
you believe
Masha,
in what you,
believing and living
yeah.
it, walking the talk, like like you like to say. And this is, I think, the hardest part of it. To because one thing is you're right. First, I mean, finding, let's say, some principles, then living by them. Is a totally different universe.
Yes. So believing is not enough. I'm trying to say.
I
I may
wonder why
believe
I'm
in
not.
many things, but I'm not,
I wonder why I'm not successful yet. I maybe I just don't want it.
but
I just don't
it's
want it.
again how
Apparently,
you, what do you mean
I'm afraid
successful?
to be rich.
What is success for you?
Well,
You
yeah,
define
it's a
success
huge
because
concept. Oh
it's a
yeah,
huge
yeah, yeah.
concept.
It's a huge concept.
So if you think
It
you're
you
not successful, you're not successful. I'm sorry. If you
yeah, but
think
if you
you are
think you are, yeah.
successful, you are successful. It's as simple as that.
Mm, yeah, I
It's a
mean,
great episode.
it's not always that we yeah, very very smart, but it's not like we define as success. I mean, it is imposed a little bit, by pop culture, by
Then you're very
these
weak.
days,
You have to work
these
on
days.
your.
Yeah, yeah, but these days, what is success? I think it's financial, measured in money, right?
Yes,
And
but for one person, a success is having a Ferrari. For another person, success is,
having 5 children.
no, if you don't, even if we don't separate, if we talk about financial stability, what is financial stability?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And some people say that as long as you earn enough to have savings each month, then this is, then you're rich. And some people say that being rich is simply, passing certain threshold, like a million, billion, or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
So
I don't
what
know
is it for
personally.
you?
But and fame, let's not forget about this, success and fame, it's very often being famous. I'm reading this book right now by Will Storr called The Status Game. And he claims that everything we do, absolutely everything we do, is about status. We play this game uh, ever since we are born, and it's not so much about money. It's just about status. So he claims that we are wired like that, that we can't actually get out from this game. We play for status all the time. So you, Masha, as a podcaster, you play for status. Now you can present your business card, and I'm a podcaster. Look at me, that's status. Even though we do it as a charity. But this
My
is
first
will
reaction was, of course, uh, um, hmm, no, but yeah, having thought
I'm
about it
reading
for
this book and I'm
this
I'm
is
having
true.
lots
This
of
is true.
questions. I'm having lots of. I mean, I'm having lots of questions, honestly, and I think that this is certain vision of the world that he presents, even though this is backed by science, by biology, by a lot of examples. But I think, although once again, it's very hard, to argue with this. But I think that there is a different world that is not about the status game. There are people who can give up their status. There are people who can.
Give up, but they
Uh,
had it. It's like with money,
but
you
what
can
if
you
what
only
if what if giving up your status actually gives you more status? So impresses people. Imagine this. Let's say you resign from.
well,
Um,
of course,
s-
and this as well. But they
yeah,
had to give up something they had, to start with.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like, oh, you understand that money can buy happiness only when you have money. The same with status.
But I'm not sure if I understand the message of the book correctly. But your goal in life is to amass the status, and to keep it, not to grab it. And then it's like, he says that when a team wins a championship, the very next day they start another battle to defend it, to
But
win
in
another
sport,
one,
it's
another
different.
title.
It's in sport, it's different. But in some situations, I mean, if you have a Nobel Prize for in physics this year, and next year you don't, your status doesn't go anywhere. It's different, but in sport, it will always be
You mean
challenged
if
by
you're a
somebody
Nobel
else.
Nobel Prize winner, you're a Nobel Prize winner forever, right?
Yeah.
And it would be like your status is secured.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Set in stone forever. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, it's interesting as
It's interesting,
uh,
should be on
this is
English.
my phrase of the phrase of my life. It's interesting. Yes, it's interesting why I'm not yet, rich and successful. But once again, uh, this definition of success, perhaps, is something that I define differently, subconsciously, than the I don't the typical vision of success. Um, all right. So wait a second. We started out with this rise and grind, and I said I find it shallow, and I can't believe this sort of message. Then you brought this want to be happy stuff, and I find it also maybe not shallow. This one is not shallow, but this one is like, to me, it's a simple
It's not
solution to a
helping if
complex
you're not
problem.
happy.
No, it's not helping exactly. I mean, no, it's not. It's totally not. And it's the same. I would once again, if you want to, there's another phrase here, and we mentioned already. If you don't like something, change it. Well, yeah, I mean, it's maybe natural to think like this. If you don't like your wife or husband, well, change it. Change it. But there is also a value, I guess, in persevering in you know what I mean,
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
very
very
interesting.
simple.
This is very important for my research. This is what I'm trying to understand right now. So
Mhm.
where is the value in in persevering?
Well, first, we definitely live in the times when we change it. It's like we don't repair stuff, we buy new. And the same, I guess, refers to relationships, right?
Yeah.
Something's broken. Okay, I'm changing you, and there's uh, there are tools for that, right? There are these Tinders and so on, but I think there is, and I think mm, don't know if the original, but definitely one of the principles of a marriage is to persevere and to
But it doesn't have to be.
attain a higher level of whatever
Of what?
of yeah, of what. I'm not an expert on that, but I think you uh you get I don't know, Masha, you tell me. What I mean, I feel like uh yeah, there is definitely a value in persevering, in not quitting
Hmm.
so easily. Of course, there is a moment when you have to quit. I'm thinking about all the dysfunctional families, and I don't know, husbands beating wives, or
Yeah, yeah, of
or
course. Yeah.
all the dramas. Of course, there is a point where you have to simply quit and you see no future. But quitting, after throwing a pair of smelly socks on the table, you know.
Oh my God.
But no, I think no, there is, or even, of course, even more serious things. But this is impressive, to persevere, and it goes against the zeitgeist, sort of. But it is impressive, the people who can be together for a long time, despite differences, despite I think they even if they are not um, how to say that, they sort of reinforce each other. But I don't know. You said
Only if
you
this
said is
happens, only because I think there is a value in this if you eventually become um, more than just a sum of individual components.
Mhm.
Then this there is value in persevering. But if this doesn't happen, then I don't see the point.
But could you illustrate that? Like, what do you mean by becoming more than?
Well, it's a very banal thing, but when you complete each other and together
Mhm.
you're stronger than
Yeah.
only in this case. This, there is a
So
value.
if you save this relationship, for
Not
example,
only
you
save
because you don't.
you you become. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, this is hard, but you asked a very good question few seconds ago about um, um, w- if you persevere, if you don't quit, you reach a new level of what? This is very interesting, but let's say that, because you can start a new relationship, right? And you are still more than one, because there are, again, two of you, right? And you could have these relationships, I know, every year. There's always
No, no,
somebody.
no,
Let's
no,
imagine,
no, 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 no.
and
You will not
but
become this one.
yeah, because what? Because living together in a couple means that you attain new level of what? Of personal growth. Is that it? Which is kind of strange, especially if you think about, uh, being with somebody for a long time, and getting used to each other and knowing each other inside out, and kind of, not even speaking because there's no need for words.
And there is
you
actually
know, uh,
nothing left to speak about, That's the
exactly.
stage.
Yeah, but I think uh, it is. I'm looking at my parents, for example. how come they managed so many years together? It's amazing, and I wonder, what would they say? They would probably say something funny, I mean,
Well, do you see them
that
functioning as one
it is a
unit?
horror. I don't know much. I don't know. I would like, for me, yeah, because I'm their child, and they have always
No,
been
even
there,
if you're the child,
But
because you're an adult, Frizzy, you understand. Do
mhm.
you see them functioning as one unit, but at the
But what
same
do you mean
time
functioning as one
preserving their
unit?
own personalities?
But what do you mean functioning as one unit? Like consulting decisions together, or what?
It means that, like a team, in a team, you need people with different qualities to solve the
Hmm.
task. The task, let's
Hmm.
say,
Oh, from that perspective, if you,
what is the task?
I may be speculating now, but I think that um, my father, my dad, would be lost without my mom. I mean, as a man, because and then again, I'm not sure about my mom and the impact of my father on her. Definitely, but I wonder. Of course, I mean, first of all, uh, it's a man, so he's stronger, and he can do all the physical stuff,
Hmm.
for sure. But on the other side, yeah, seriously, if it wasn't for my mom, my dad would be eating only pork chops and potatoes till this day. No rice, no anything else, no pasta. And now he's eating everything. It's a simple example, but no, it applies, of course, to other areas, I think. Um, but the question whether they function as one unit, and I'm thinking about my marriage now. Am I one unit with my? I mean, I wish we were a team. I hope we are. Managing daily life.
Managing daily life,
But
raising children, weathering storms that life throws at you. It's like a puzzle. You can't be a perfect person. You're lacking
hmm.
something, 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 something. And then you find another person who has exactly what you're lacking, and you don't see
Hmm.
it as, I don't know. And
Is this why
because
we
they
say
have
that
something that
opposites
you are
attract each
lacking,
other?
no, I don't believe in that. Sorry.
Hmm. Hmm.
But because they have something you're lacking, you don't see what they are lacking as a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know, I know, I
even
know, I
able
know
to
what you mean. I know
describe it.
what you mean. No, no, I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah, but I guess, isn't this a default state of couples and whether married or not, but getting together, being together is it's to a large extent about this, right?
No, being together for a
Is not?
year, it's just, having fun together. And then shit hits the fan. And if you don't have what it takes, then you just don't survive it.
Mm, all right.
This
But
persevering, I think at the end of this persevering, there have to be this deep realization that, you know, okay, let me, if I, if you were given right now, because you understand after certain years of your marriage, Jesus, it's becoming a therapy, this,
yeah, why not? Live recording, there's
it's
no script,
okay,
guys.
as long as you don't pay for it. Uh, uh, because after certain years of being married, you understand what you're not getting from your partner. Could be anything, but well, something that your partner, some needs that cannot be
Mm-hmm.
satisfied in this particular
Mm-hmm.
marriage. And this is
Mm-hmm.
very often why people start looking at somewhere else, you know? It can be anything.
Yeah, yeah, it
So
sounds
if
sounds logical. Uh-huh.
sounds logical, that's what you do. Or some people don't. Some people just, put these needs somewhere, lock them, and
Mm-hmm.
depends, on your moral.
Cheat on their spouses.
It's not only about that. It can be
Yeah, yeah. I
emotional
mean,
thing or sexual, whatever. So
mhm.
if you were given an opportunity, let's say, I don't know, 30 years from now, to have a clone, let's say, of your wife,
Mm-hmm.
who would have these missing elements. And you would have, and you can go there sometimes, to this
Mm-hmm.
room with the
Mm-hmm.
clone. It's
Mm-hmm.
very crudely
Yeah, yeah, it's
explained,
fine,
but
fine, fine.
but
I'm in the game.
yeah, and you could, satisfy your needs. It is not cheating. It's the same person, only
Mm-hmm.
created specially for you.
Mm-hmm.
Algorithms study you, what is it that
Mm-hmm.
you need, what you like, what you want, and give it to you.
And whether I would go for it or
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
or I mean, I'm thinking about the reasons why not, right?
yes, why not?
Uh,
There
because
is
it's
no need
totally
to
illogical not
persevere.
to.
There is no
Yeah.
need to persevere anymore. There's no need for
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices, for compromises.
What comes to my mind, because I'm at the position that I'm anti-modern, so I want to hold on to the old life,
Which is
and
persevering and a little bit of
which is
suffering.
persevering, yes, but I think isn't actually persevering and connected with it suffering, uh, um, this sort of mechanism of progress, of personal development, because if you can satisfy all your needs at once here
Hmm.
and now
Hmm.
without any effort,
Yes.
then you don't grow, sort of, right?
I'm inclined, and I really inclined to think like that, and I really hope that this is what it is. But what I see right now happening, what is this generation, whatever? This is life is short. So why should
Mm-hmm.
I stay in this relationship if not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100% of my needs are satisfied? They don't see the point.
Mm-hmm. Ah, you're right. And
And
rather
I'm
the
trying to
trend
find
is
this point.
yeah, yeah,
So you need to
yeah.
explain to a person why they have to suffer, why basically suffering is good for them. This is what I want
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
understand, how.
But yeah, but I think, Masha, it's this nature of this progress or this growth,
Hmm.
I think, is primarily spiritual, and that what makes things complicated, because you enter an area where we are even missing vocabulary, because what is the spiritual growth? My spirit is growing, it's evolving into what, and so on, and it's quite hard for me to, but um yeah, I was thinking about this concept of having everything satisfied, which becomes more and more our reality. Very soon, you would be able to put on these VR glasses with excellent, software
Yes.
inside, having friends, playing
Yeah.
bowling,
Hmm.
and having sex and everything, of your wildest imagination,
And the algorithms will
and they will know what you want.
yeah,
Yeah, they will know you,
they
so they will
give it to
provide
you.
you everything,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
uh, but isn't it, Masha, a little bit coming down on Earth, a little bit like reading a book versus watching a movie? Kind of, reading is always an effort, and it's painful. Let's be honest. Who likes reading books? I mean, um, I like the effect books have on me. I like, um,
It's like a good
I
workout. I
like,
mean,
yeah, but reading is painful always.
and workout is painful.
In workout is painful too, but watching is not. Watching is like,
No,
okay, you can,
it's not. Yeah.
and I know there are also other, yeah, or generally consuming images is easier than consuming text, where you have to concentrate, where you have to, be careful, and not to skip a word or a paragraph. But mm, I think it's about this, but then reading, um, if you read, then, oh, I don't know. I wanted to say something like that I'm not sure of. Like, when you read, then you discover the meaning because the meaning is created in your head, right? It's not like you have the meaning in the book inside these pages, but the meaning is recreated in your head every time different because when you read the Lord of the Rings and I read the Lord of the Rings, we have different imaginations, we have different reflections, maybe and the same with reading any text, right? Two people reading the same text, or even you reading the same text twice, you have different meaning, a little bit
Yeah.
out of it. You get a different meaning out of it. And I think that if everything is provided for you, like images, or everything is easy to consume, then you don't control this meaning or you don't develop it. It is given to you. But I'm not sure actually if because movies could also spark some reflection, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's not like you just consume. And there are stupid movies just like there are stupid books.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. This is maybe a dead end
What if we
street,
go back to,
of my
the beginning of, let's say,
reasoning.
children? Why is it not good to give children everything they want? That's the same. It's just we're talking about
Yeah,
adults.
yeah. You're right because you spoil them, right? This is
So,
the simple answer. So
well,
you
spoil,
spoil
it's
them.
this characteristic. It's why is it not good for their growth? Not physical growth, but
Having everything, having.
yes.
I was thinking just yesterday, because we know, and I guess many children these days, they've got everything. My children, I think they've got everything. All right, they don't have an Xbox yet.
Not only do they have everything, they have everything immediately. They don't have to wait for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, and
So what will happen to an adult if you put them in this into such, such conditions when they can have everything?
I think you
Paradise,
somehow
right?
it's a paradise, but uh, y- so I don't know why, but it reminds me of an amoeba, that everything is flowing through you like like you're transparent, and everything and you don't have any, how to say that, mm, concrete form. You are just like an amoeba, like
Well, that's of course already next level and too deep. But
spoiled
if you think of
and
because I'm of course thinking about this virtual reality and what it does, it eliminates even natural consequences. Like, why am I not eating cake every day? Because I will get fat and it will be,
mhm,
good for my health.
I'm
Why am
eating.
I not sleeping around? Because I may get some venereal disease or something. That's how people think. I mean,
Uh-huh.
there are some things which
Mhm,
whoever created that stop us
mhm,
from such behaviors, from enjoying everything
mhm,
we want and as often as we want. But a
mhm.
virtual reality will eliminate even these things.
Yeah. This is very interesting. This is very interesting because you know, uh, uh, the other day, uh, somebody, wasn't me, I guess, I don't know, was thinking
I
about, for
don't remember
example,
if it was you or not.
I don't remember the origin of this thought. Where does it
Ah,
come
okay.
from? Is it my head? Is it someone else's? I don't want to claim it, although there's
Mhm.
nothing, to be proud of. But somebody was considering having sex with children, so pedophilia in virtual reality. So look at this, we are getting to a point where you hurt no one,
Yes.
and yet you do something that is generally considered forbidden, unlawful, awful, and horrible, and so on.
This
But
is one thing, I'm reading this book, a case against sexual revolution. And that's
mhm,
what she's saying, that this, it all eventually comes down whether you're hurting somebody or not. But
yeah,
one
but
of the points she makes in this book. But
it's not. I mean, according to what metaphysics, because if you think about, I think I'm not sure because I'm not an expert here about the Jewish metaphysics. Then for them, as long this is what you said exactly, as long as you don't hurt someone, it's fine. So
Everything's
in the
fine. Yeah.
you could think about a man or a woman, no matter what you want, you could dream of raping that person, and doing, I don't know, horrible things,
Yeah.
murdering or whatever. But as long as you don't do it in the Jewish culture, it's fine. You didn't do it. You didn't. But it was Jesus who introduced this concept of a sin, that you sin with your thoughts. So just thinking about somebody in a wrong way, like thinking of raping someone, or and so on and so forth, having these dirty thoughts, this is a sin already. So you don't have to do it. It's enough that you think about it, and then you should go and confess, and to get these thoughts out of your head, because this is what Christian metaphysics introduced. To um, above. It was like they installed it above the Jewish. And I think this is it. And now when we think about these VR glasses, my goodness, there's a fly flying here. Right? When you think about these VR glasses, and doing all kinds of lewd things, I think they are against the Christian morality, right? But once again,
You're not hurting
according to the
anybody.
law, yeah, because we talk about the moral law here, but the law, I mean, the civil law, everything's fine, no one's hurt, right?
Yeah.
Because it would be also weird to have some kind of a thought police, that is it's bizarre, right? You can only stop yourself. Only you can stop yourself in the modern world that allows for everything, from doing stuff that so far has been forbidden, because like you said, the potential of catching a serious disease, or ruining your life financially or otherwise. But imagine that everything is virtual, everything is possible, then it's only
Well, that's
you
why,
who.
this conversation we are having, very often we have this conversation with my students about, how to fight corruption. And most of them say that, it's just a system of punishment and law enforcement, and it will do the job. And I'm thinking very often, I'm not going around killing people because I'm afraid to be put in prison. There is something in me that's stopping me.
Yeah,
To which they
yeah,
have always
exactly.
an argument, you will kill if, and I understand that there is a situation in the multiple, situations where I will kill. Yes. But I don't think that punishment is the only, I mean, there is something more to it. And when you were talking about um, this, what's gonna stop you or something. So I'm thinking of, I will have two characters, and they will basically be put into this situation when you can
Hmm.
do absolutely anything
Hmm.
without any consequences. And I'm thinking,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping, I can only hope that one of them will be able to come back. And I'm thinking, what does this person must have in him or her to be able to go there and back? What sort of quality?
Sorry,
Because
to
it's
to to
definitely
go
not
back
punish.
to go back from paradise,
Let's call it
or
paradise for now.
let's
Yeah.
call it, yeah. Um, oh, it's a very good question, Masha, and it's I think it's the subject for a really good book.
That's what I'm
If you know
trying
the
to
answer,
do.
yeah, if you know the answer, because I don't know, what does it take to come back. Um,
So
mm,
you're talking about this perseverance, and I think there is something to do with it. You see the benefit in this struggle, in persevering, in suffering. What quality is that?
yeah, because maybe you're right. If everything is satisfied, suddenly you start longing for suffering or limitation. Because this is also, at the end of the day, this is also a commodity, or a service, or I don't know what, a feeling, an emotion of not having something, an emotion of lacking something, emotion of, and perhaps if everything is satisfied, you are missing that. And this is the case, I think, of very rich people, who long for this simple life, or very famous people who long for the ability to go out and do the shopping, on their own, I think. Because
Mm.
in the end, we have certain needs, and you never know what are our needs. We typically think that we want something positive, we want something good, we want uh, 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 to have rather than not to have. But perhaps, this is a part of our soul wants to be deprived of stuff. I don't know, but there is I think there is this concept of gluttony, right? That one of the cardinal sins, that you can eat. I mean, that eating too much is bad. So eating cakes and so on. It was only yesterday I asked some teenagers why eating a cake for lunch isn't a good idea. And, these guys are really smart. They know everything. They know why not. They know there's no fiber, no proteins, and so on. And you are going to be hungry very soon. All right, but
Knowing and believing and doing.
yeah, yeah, and doing is another thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, this gluttony, I think it's somewhere there, Masha. Maybe it's also worth exploring, because somehow mm, I remember right now that there are, at the bottom of a human soul, there is this original fear, and all our existence is about escaping this fear. This original fear of that soul that is afraid of, I think, disintegration, right? Or simply ceasing to exist, right? It's afraid of that. All living beings feel it, and there are, I think, two ways, principal ways, how you can secure your existence. One, kill everybody and eat everything. But then you may, it's like this Ouroboros, who eats itself, and this is dangerous, this is risky. Another way to secure your existence is to build a castle, a fortress that is so strong, to find an armor that is so strong that no one will be able to destroy you. However, we know that physically it's very difficult to do, because even if you have the strongest armor today, there will always be a weapon, always be a way to, an atomic bomb to wipe you out. And so the third escape is through the concept of immortal life, so that, yeah, even if my existence here, finishes, I will live forever, right? It's a very clever invention, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect armor. You don't have to be afraid of anything because you will live forever. And I'm thinking about, this kind of satisfying all of your needs. Mm, it's somehow similar to this first option, eating everything, everybody, and everything. I don't think it's leading to anything good, because, like I said before, you will dissolve. You will kind
Somebody
of
will dissolve, but somebody will find something in them to go back.
go back. Mm,
I think this
it's great, Masha.
appreciation
It's
of
it's like a, it's
suffering,
like a, it,
this
it's
is what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to
It's like, it's like this.
put my finger on.
I'm thinking about, going to Mars and back. Uh, because, you do something absolutely incredible, and then you come back. No, this is maybe not. I don't know why this picture came to my mind. Because it looks
Mars
like
is
the Mars
definitely
is a
not
paradise.
paradise.
It's not a paradise exactly. But again, there is this longing that you would have to feel there. In our paradise where you satisfy all needs, you would have to have the longing. So what is longing? Where does it come from? You miss something, and how do you miss something where you have everything? Right? In a world where you have everything, how do you miss anything? Very good. It's very good. But I'm unable to answer this right now. No, it's very good. I
You're
think
my
it's
last
it's a
hope.
where did you even come up with this? And it's a great concept. You could build not only a book around it, but a whole saga or a universe.
Santa
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah. It's like Dune by Herbert. Or
Dune holds only 3 parts.
yeah, it was all. Yeah, I think there was more.
Messiah
There
is
was.
officially going to be third
Yeah.
part.
Really? They already announced it. Well, it was
Confirmed.
obvious, right? It wasn't it?
No, why was it obvious?
But
Somebody
it's
could
I
have
think it's a
said no.
blockbuster. It's a blockbuster that is making lots of money, and at the same time, it's not a stupid movie.
Yeah.
So
You
one
have
of the few.
seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. Masha, you don't know that?
You've seen
I
two
was
parts?
in the cinema.
Oh my God.
Yes, of course. No, the first one I watched on my PC, but I went to the cinema 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago, or I don't know when.
Ooh.
I even mentioned that in our newsletter. I wrote that. Okay, I said that I haven't watched it yet, but
Yet implied that.
the very same Sunday when our
Mm,
newsletter was published, I went to the cinema in the evening and I watched the second
Easter
part of June.
movie.
Sure, yes,
And
great. Masha,
it's not
I
a
don't know
stupid
what
movie?
was which one?
Dune.
Dune? No, it's not. No,
Okay.
it's not. I like it. I mean, I had a problem going through the book. But I may actually do it before the third part comes out because again we'll have to wait, I don't know, 4 years or how long. But I read the first part, the book, after watching the first part, but then somehow I lost the
Yeah, I also
drive,
read the
and
book
I was
after the first part. The book really helps you on this because there's there's this new world and it takes time to remember, get used to it, or just
yeah,
remembering the
yeah,
names,
exactly,
it
exactly.
takes,
And there's a political game going on to
yeah,
understand all of that. Yeah, yeah.
book really
Fine.
helps.
Masha, I don't know what was this episode about?
Oh, it's your job to name it.
All right.
Are
Okay.
you going to
I
outsource it?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm going to do
Okay.
it the human way. Even if I
You're going
put
to
a wrong
suffer.
title, I'm going to suffer. Exactly. This is definitely is going to lead to my development and growth
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
and the fury of my wife.
Wrath.
if
Okay.
I yeah, if I spend too much time. Masha, thanks a lot. Fantastic conversation and a great concept there. With this coming back from paradise. For what? Only to see the misery. You know what? In the second part, this hero that came back from paradise wants to go back to paradise, seeing these crying children.
And by my this paradise, I of course mean hell.
Mm, yeah, you're right. But
Because
why?
if you're too long in paradise, you will want to go to hell. You want to have
Yeah.
sex with children and, and God knows what.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Because these needs they keep growing, right? And
Yes.
and
Yes.
and and degenerating.
Yes.
Sure.
So
Sure.
there must be something that will stop you from degenerating.
All right.
I
Oh,
need to
that's
find it
great.
and save humanity.
Ah, that'll be great. I can't wait. When
I
is
will be
the
Sarah
when is
Connor,
the book
John
being
Connor.
published?
Oh, come on. Ah,
All right, great, great. I want to say big thank you to everybody who was listening to this absolutely
I
spontaneous, unscripted conversation. It was really great. Thanks,
I would
Masha,
like
for
to know how many people actually stayed with us.
people. Yeah, people. It's
Yeah,
time, really. It's high time you start.
people
You start commenting. You start
canceling
simply
us
letting us know that you are there. So online, of course, not just
would be
not just
nice.
during my classes or Masha, your classes.
Would be nice. Okay, so
Great.
is this the end? Officially? The end?
Yes. I wish
Okay.
I wish I had Adele singing here. This is the end, but I guess that would infringe the copyright.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, so thank you everybody for staying with us. This was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.